All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Great to see you guys. You are in for such a treat today. We're going to talk all about Facebook ads, and we've got the one and only KT Temple out of the Ballantyne Market Center, who has a long list of accolades and things that I won't even jump into. So KT, I have made you a co-host. You should be good. We're recording. Awesome. I'll drop in chat links where they can find the recordings. And then just a reminder, you guys will have another session tomorrow at 10 a.m. That'll be all about saved searches. So KT, they are all yours. Thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thank you, Sydney. What a cute song to start me off with as well. Wasn't that just lovely? Hey guys, so we are going to do just some Facebook ad tips. We know that at the beginning of the year, something really big happened, and that was the Apple privacy update. The Apple privacy update, if you're not familiar, pretty much changed how we interact with apps as small business owners. If you don't know, what we used to be able to do is basically Facebook would look at everything you were using on your phone. So if you had the Facebook app downloaded on your phone, Facebook knew all the other apps that you were using, when you were using them, how often, where you were when you were using them. Now, if you're on iPhone, you will notice that anytime you open up a new app, anytime you open up something for the first time in a while, you'll get a new notification that now says, do you want to let this app track you? And obviously you all probably hit, no, don't track me. And so we've lost a lot of the information that we did have. So for the first time since Facebook started running ads, we saw lead prices go up. That was the first time we've ever seen lead prices go up, and it didn't go up by a lot. You know, Facebook, they had a plan B. They weren't really caught by surprise by this. They knew how to figure this out. So what we were using as realtors to get leads was called the Facebook lead ad form. Now, there were very few industries that were actually using this button, but it turns out that now that now that Apple kind of changed up everything, every industry uses that. That's actually the most popular way to get leads, and it's the way we were already doing it. So we actually kind of lucked out a little bit. So we've seen ad prices stagger, and they're starting to dip down a little bit. So what I want to talk about are just some tips on how you can start using this, and just a few little pointers that will kind of get you going if you haven't run them, and then a few pointers if you are running them, how to get some leads for a bit cheaper of a price. So before we go into that, I pulled up just a slide from a class I teach called Internet Lead Generation. We're having this for the CES platform next month. It's a 4-hour long class. So if you're not sick of me after 30 minutes, you can come to the 4-hour long session. But this is one of the slides that we use in this. And this is just your ROI for your Facebook ads that you're running. Let me make you guys a little bit bigger here real quick. Cool. So here's the ROI. And this is just good numbers for you to use. And this is old. So this was at the beginning of the year before all this changed. So, and I'll point out what's changed and how you can adjust for that. But this is the ROI that you can kind of use to start tracking your activities. So if you did a $15 a day budget for 365 days, that would be $5,475. Average cost per lead. This is where it changes, guys. That's not our average anymore. That was our average. Right now, I would say this is probably around $3 to $3.50. That's a really great spot. Anything under $5 is kind of the sweet spot right now. And again, that will continue to go down, but that's just kind of where we are right now. It was $1.87. We're closer to $5 right now per lead. I'm going to tell you guys ads to run to get as low as possible though. So if you got them at $1.87, that would be 2,927 leads. That would be if you did a conversion average of 1 out of 100. So for every, you're running a bunch of ads, you get 100 leads in. For every 100 leads that you are attaining, you just convert one of them, just one person out of that 100. If you closed, that would leave you closing 29 leads. And if you did an average price point of $250,000, so a $7,500 commission, you would, for the year, your ROI would be $217,000 for a $5,475 investment. So does everyone get why every small business in the world is running Facebook ads? It's not just real estate agents, guys. This is every small business, large business. Everybody is running a Facebook ad campaign. Everybody in their marketing budget for 2022, you should probably think about how much money you are going to set aside to run these kinds of ads and how you're going to get better at them. So what we're going to do today is just talk about some of the best ways you can start using Facebook ads. The cool thing about it, guys, is that when you start running these ads, we've made it really easy. We made it, Command is pretty much the easy button to run these ads. You don't even need a listing. You can just get a friend's listing, get an agent in your office listing, get an agent in a different KW's office listing, and still be able to run an ad. You don't even have to provide the pictures. So here's a little script for you. If you don't have a listing and you want to start running these and you're just trying to get started, go find an agent. Go find an agent who has listings in your area and go to them and just say, hey, would you mind if I did some free marketing for you? There's your script. That's the whole thing. And hopefully they'll say yes. And if they do say yes, great. Use their listings now for your campaigns. Now, some broker in charges have suggested to me when I told people that you might want to get that in writing. Just a little, cover your butt kind of deal. So get something in writing saying that you're allowed to do some free marketing for their specific listings. And then you can do what I'm about to show you guys here. So you can just come in here. We're just going to run a test campaign. Make sure you name these really well, because we're going to run a bunch of these. We're going to talk about how you should be running these, for how long and how much money. And you're just going to want to attract buyers. If you're brand new into this, don't focus on listings. Listings will cost you more money. It is much easier for you to get buyer leads than listing leads, especially in the beginning when you're just learning this. And we're going to run this to Facebook. Create a campaign here. Now, since your great other real estate agent friend allowed you to use their listings, you don't even have to get the pictures from them. You can just click add a listing. You're going to change this from only my listings to all listings. And then you'll go find their listing. You would search up here. Let's pretend that this listing is it. So I've now got this listing, and it immediately brought in the MLS data for me. So I can change this up. And by the way, guys, emojis actually work really well here. Let's all channel our inner 14-year-old girl. Throw some emojis on there. They actually work really, really well. So you throw in some emojis, have fun with it. This is something that you are going to have to practice and figure out how to do it. I'm going to show you how to figure out how to get good at this. Same with the headline and description. You're not wanting to tell them everything. You're wanting to get their attention. So your competition, when you're running these ads, it's not other real estate agents, it's not Zillow, it's nobody else. It's literally just Facebook. It's all the other buttons, all the different things that their eyes could be looking at on Facebook. That's your competition. So how are you going to stand out from the crowd? When somebody's scrolling mindlessly, like a zombie, like we all do, how are you going to get them to stop and just say, oh, that's a pretty house. That's interesting. Something like that, so that they will click on it. Now, this section, this ad, the one goal of this ad, and I think a lot of realtors, my whole family's realtors, so I get every stereotype you could imagine. We want people to just see our ad and say, that's amazing. I'm calling them right now. That is not the point of this ad. That is not the point at all. So your phone number, your email should not be a part of this ad. They should not be within this text nor in the picture. That is not the goal of this ad. The only goal of this ad is for them to click on it so we get the lead. So don't think about, how am I going to get people to call me, email me? That's not the point. How am I going to get people to click on the ad? That is your one job with this. So figure out how to grab their attention so that they click on it when you're doing these things. Next, for the media, you can grab some images, and we're going to select media. And because we selected this listing, their pictures are already going to pop up here, and we can just grab that listing, plug it in. We're going to crop it so we can go square, we can go wide. It's really kind of up to you. We're just going to go full portrait. And actually, let's do the square one. Square one's fine. So we got the picture of the house. We plug in more text over here. And as you're typing, you're going to see the preview come over here. Next, for Facebook settings, you have to use a Facebook business page. So everybody always asks me, do I need a Facebook business page? If you ever want to run a Facebook ad, the answer is yes. And in general, if you're a small business, you should probably have a Facebook business page. It's kind of like the white pages of the internet nowadays. So here's the big thing with this whole activity that you're doing. You are always going to choose this button. There is almost no reason. I can't think of one reason why you would click this button. You only pick this button, the Facebook lead generation form. If you do not click this button and you decide to click this button, you are going to get 0 leads. None. It will come up as 0 every single time. Your only hope is that they get to wherever you take them and that your value proposition is so good that they actually hand type things in, which they never do. What this does is when they click on this ad, a little pop-up comes up and it basically just says, is this information correct? And we know people that are surfing Facebook, they're a little bit lazier than us. You know, I know it because I surf Facebook all the time. If Facebook just gives me a pop-up, I go, yes, get this out of my way. Yes, get this out of my way. So the pop-up's going to come up. It's going to say, is this information correct, with their phone number, their email, and their name. And when they click, yeah, that's correct. Take me to what I want. I'm on Facebook. I'm not trying to fill stuff out. You automatically get the lead. And that lead will then go into your command database without you having to do it. It happens automatically for you. So always pick this button, never click this button. Then you're going to pick your button label. So learn more, sign up, or apply now. Just make it make sense. And then the website URL. Again, if this is a transaction that you're creating. You are online creating an ad. This is a value proposition to somebody. So you're saying, hey, click on this and I'm going to give you information. Now, if you're promising them this property, you had better take them to that property. One of the things I see agents do is that they take them to their homepage of their website after they just advertise a specific listing. You've basically just lied to that consumer right now. You said, click me, click me, click me. And as soon as they finally clicked you, you took them to the homepage of your website. It's not the right way to go about it. Instead, you need to go to your website. So here's my KW website. You can use whichever website you're using. And we're going to go and let's just pretend that this is our listing. So we would go and find the listing on our website. We would copy that URL. So we would hit copy, come back to our campaign, and that is where we are going to take them directly to the listing on our website. So don't take them to the home screen, take them to the listing if you are advertising a specific listing. You don't need to create a landing page, by the way. If you're doing specific listings, there's no reason to create a landing page. Just use the one on your website. It'll save you a few extra steps. There's a couple reasons to use this. We'll get into that in just a second. So audience, you're normally going to always use a custom setting. And so there's an option here to target your own database. This is a great feature for retargeting people, for doing all kinds of different activities. What you need to know about this button is that this is targeting people in your database. Facebook requires you to have a minimum of 100 people that you are going to target, and they actually suggest you have 1,000. So a lot of people, I don't see them using this for a long time, but it is an option for you. So right now, let's do target a custom audience. So these are people we've never met. These are people we're wanting to attract to click on our ads that are just searching Facebook in this area. So we're going to target a custom audience. We're going to do our area. So I'm in Charlotte. There we go. And then 25 miles, it's normally good. If you're in a city, you can go smaller. If you're in a more rural area, I would go wider. Just a simple hint there. And then targeting. So this is kind of where we get to the main activity of how to get really good with Facebook ads. You are going to run these ads against each other. It's what we call A/B testing. A/B testing happens in your world all the time, and you never know what happens. Right now, if you were to go to Facebook, your Facebook might look different than my Facebook just a little bit. Let's pretend like Facebook might move the like icon just a centimeter to the left on yours. And then on mine, the like button is moved a centimeter to the right. And I click on the like button more than you do. That tells Facebook that my like button placement is better than yours. And so maybe for the rest of the time, they put the like button in my spot. we're going to do the same thing for our own ads. So I never want you to just think that you know everything and that you're going to run an ad and it's just going to work. That's never how you should do it. You might take this ad right here and you run it twice. So we're going to have the same exact caption, the same exact photos, headlines, everything is the same. But I might run it with a target audience of nobody, and I'm just going to let the Facebook algorithm take it. Or I might run it and I'm going to add a bunch of interests in here. So I'm going to target certain groups of people. And so I'll run 2 different ads for a very low cost, maybe $5 to $10, $15, and I'll run those 2 ads against each other. Then a few days goes by and I can tell one ad is doing better than the other ad. This is how we do our A/B testing. We have 2 ads and we're able to say, all right, when I did this kind of thing, this worked better. So now I'm going to cancel both ads and I'm going to put more money into this ad. But you can continue to A/B test as time goes on. So you really only stop A/B testing until you get the ROI that you're looking for. You run an ad and you're getting $2 per lead and it's kicking butt. So you just run that one until it stops getting $2 per lead. And then you go back and start A/B testing again. And that is the game of this, guys. That game never stops. You are always going to be playing that one game of A/B testing different ads against each other until they stop working. Does everybody understand that? Does anybody have any questions so far? Cool. All right. So lead settings. So this is the important part. If you do not have your smart plan set up for your ad, you're not ready to run an ad yet. That is step 1 that you need to do. And so what I mean by that is you need to create the smart plan. So when the lead comes in, so remember that lead's going to automatically come into command, I can decide what smart plan I want it to start as soon as that lead comes in. So let's pretend the lead comes in at midnight. I'm asleep. So if I have a smart plan here, that person can be emailed and text before I even wake up. And then when I wake up, I'll get a notification to do the phone call that I got a new lead. And all of you should go ahead, make sure I have my phone on me, go ahead and download, if you haven't, the new KW app. The new KW app that we just got. So I can show you guys here in a second if we have questions on it. The new KW app will let you know what leads were never contacted right on the front screen. So we'll be able to see, hey, these are 20 people that came in overnight that we haven't contacted yet. And they'll be right there on the home screen and I'll know to reach out to them. So it makes it really easy for our follow-up even when we're away from our computers. You also want to make sure you have your tags set up. So I might be running multiple ads at a time. I need to make sure I know, how they're organized. So I might have a tag that says Facebook ad, and I might have another tag that says Facebook neighborhood, whatever neighborhood this was, 1. And maybe it's Facebook neighborhood 2. So now I'm organizing them while I'm A/B testing so I know which one's getting more leads, make it a little bit easier. And then duration and budget. Like I said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do the A/B testing first until you know it works. And once you know it works, you can throw in $100, $200. You know it works. You tested it. You have enough information now to put some money into it. So for optimizing this, guys, it's really simple. Video works. Video will always work better than a picture as long as it's good quality video. It just is, guys. Video, if you haven't thought about your marketing plan for 2022, video needs to be the top of your list. It would go video and then Facebook ads. It's just a non-negotiable. Every marketer in the world right now is looking at TikTok and how successful that platform is. And that's a video exclusive platform. So if you can, guys, I would just suggest once every other day, just put yourself on video. You don't have to post anything. You don't have to go live, but just get used to being in front of the camera. Get used to that interaction with your phone of being on video, explaining things, teaching things to people. It will help you with your marketing as time goes on. So as far as video goes, you can do a nice video of the home. Some of the best results I've had is doing drone photography. If you get like a nice, pretty listing and just getting those really cool drone shots. We ran that at the beginning of the year before the privacy stuff, and we were getting 30 cents a lead. And it was the best ad campaign I've ever ran. I didn't really do anything. It was all the photographers' work. They just did pretty drone shots and it made people want to click on it. Some other things you can do is just have the picture And Sydney, am I allowed to say what's coming or what we talked about earlier?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. Sydney told me a secret, guys. So I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. So very soon, we're gonna be able within designs to add animations. And just a little and when I mean an animation, I mean like a GIF, whatever you want to call it, that you can just slap right on top of a picture, and it's just gonna give the picture some movement. If you don't believe me, take a still picture like we have right here and run it against a still picture like this with just a GIF on it. That little bit of movement is all you need to get more clicks. We're finding that across every kind of ad we run. Movement works. It stops people from scrolling. It grabs their attention. Something else you can do, this is much more high level, but this does a lot for you. It's the internet really likes organization. You've probably seen yourself go to YouTube and look up, here's the 5 things blank. Here's the 5 things I need to do to make my house look prettier. Here's the 5 Christmas decorations you need to have a kick butt house for the holidays. Same thing works with real estate. If you posted a ad that said, click here for the top 5 things you need to know if you're buying in 2022. Click here for the top 5 things you need to know if you're selling for 2022. You're doing 2 things. One, you're creating a great value proposition. That is going to stop people and say, I am buying. Or it's going to get them saying, my daughter's buying, my son's buying, this person's buying. And so not only did you create clickable content, but you're creating shareable content at the same time, which is really key. Going into, and this is again, just another tip going into 2022, your marketing plan should surround the idea of what kind of content can I create that is shareable. But back on this topic, so if I created the 5 things that you need to know to buy in 2022, 1, I'm creating good content. 2, I'm pre-qualifying this lead. Remember what I said at the beginning, people are inherently lazy on Facebook. That's why they're on Facebook. They're there to kill time. They're not there to be productive most of the time. So you're stopping someone is reading something and saying, I'm moving in 2022. Let me go read more about this article. So that lead is so much better. When I'm doing this kind of lead here, I'm just basically asking all the looky-loos, like when we do open houses, to click on this, to go look at some pretty pictures. That's all this ad is. When I do that listicle, that 5 things you need to know, that is pre-qualifying that lead. And when that lead gets into my database, I know that they're more likely, they're a higher quality lead than this one because they went in and took the time to read something about buying in the next year. So it's a really powerful ad that you're going to get way fewer leads. Remember, nobody wants to read anything. You're going to get way fewer leads, but the leads you do get are going to be pre-qualified because of that value proposition that you're giving them. What questions do we have so far? We don't have a ton of time left. Are there any questions, anything that you guys want me to go deeper on? Sydney, is there anything you want me to touch on? Those were my main points for all this.
No, honestly, I think that's like so perfect. And I think a lot of people have run some Facebook ads and then maybe not recently seen what they were hoping to get from it. So with those tips, I think that'll probably increase their ads.
Yeah, guys, the biggest thing is to just try it. This activity is really cool because even if you do poorly, you're still getting leads. I mean, the whole time you are doing an activity that's still going to get you leads while you practice and get better at it. So give it a go. Oh, and I did forget one more thing. You are going to want, let's go back over here. So let's go to the campaign section, go to the paid ads. While you're tracking these leads, guys, I always get asked tons of questions about all this information. Honestly, none of this matters. The only thing that matters is CPLC. If you took any notes from this, CPLC is cost per lead click. It's the only thing that matters. Nothing else in here matters. This is telling me how much money am I getting per lead. That's all you want to track. I don't care how many impressions I got. I don't care how many clicks I got. I want to know how many leads. Remember, we're not marketing for branding. That's what like Coca-Cola does and Nike does. They market to brand their business. When you think of shoes, you need to think of Nike. When you think of having a soda, you need to think of Coca-Cola. That's not our business, guys. There's too many real estate agents. People can barely tell you Remax Century 21, Keller Williams, EXP. If they know 4 real estate companies, it's honestly impressive. What we are in the business of doing here is getting leads. So that is why this is the only thing that matters and the only thing you should pay attention to. That was just a quick thing that I almost forgot to mention. Let me look at the chat. Love the A/B testing. It's a great idea. Oh, thank you, Monica. I didn't even see. Oh, there you are down there. When is your lead gen info session next month? It's a CES class that you can hop on if your market center is part of CES. I think it's like January 12th or 13th, so just in a few weeks. What other questions do we have? Any other ahas from this session? I hope this was helpful, guys. Cool. Well, that's all I got, Sydney.
Well, that was perfect. I think they're probably all following along and creating a Facebook ad as we're doing it. So thank you, KT. That was awesome. Thank you so much. And then as a reminder, you guys will have tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll have all about Save Search. And then following day, I'll have to see timing on that, but that'll be all around the Command app. So we will end with that. So thank you guys for being here. Recordings will be on the YouTube page. And KT, as always, thank you. We appreciate you.
No problem. Anytime. I hope you guys have a happy holiday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.